out if you close your eyes.
Welcome back to Pass It On. My next guest is very passionate when it comes down to working with youth in our community. She's the director of Rediscovering Me Clubhouse in Brooklyn, Maryland, on Ritchie Highway, an after-school program for youth development. This unique program was made possible through a government-funded grant passed down through Anne Arundel County Department of Health to service the plight of youth with prior or current substance abuse issues. We welcome Ms. Meleny Thomas to the show. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, today I asked you to visit with us to explain the high importance of your program in the community. So let's get started. Who is Rediscovering Me Clubhouse?
So the Rediscovering Me Clubhouse is a program of the Chesapeake Center for Youth Development. And the Chesapeake Center for Youth Development is an organization that was started over 42 years ago. So they've been providing services for youth from a wide range of services. It started out as an alternative school, and most recently, 3 years ago, our program started through that grant that you mentioned earlier, given by the health department. So what we do, we're here, when they did a survey of the needs for this community, as well as, the state of Maryland, they did a survey of substance use, and they found that this area had one of the highest in the state. So that's why they gave us the opportunity to start the program, and we're here.
What does the youth get there at your facility? What do they get?
So the youth, once they come in, we operate from 3 to 7. It is an after-school program, as you mentioned. So we provide educational, vocational, enrichment, and peer support services, meaning we have a peer support specialist who's been in recovery for 18 years. So she brings her life, absolutely. She brings her life experience to share with the youth, that you don't have to go down the path that I went down. You don't have to do all these different things. I'm here to tell you that you can overcome. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Okay. How do you guys measure success in the program for a youth?
Okay. So the way that we really measure success is we look at their academic stuff. So I mentioned that we do academic support. So the first 30 minutes of the program, they have to do some type of homework assignments. If they don't have any homework assignment, then we provide, we go on the Khan Academy so they can get some extra help with online tutoring, or we help them if they have a project, or we provide them with some type of worksheet that they can use to kind of beef up their skills, whether a lot of them are lacking in math and struggling with math and reading and English and things of that nature. So we provide different activities and worksheets to try to help them with that.
Are these youth in high school, middle school, or are they in Anne Arundel County public school system that you deal with on an everyday basis?
Absolutely. We can only serve Anne Arundel County public school system, and we serve youth from 12 to 17, so that's middle and high school.
Okay. And have you found in your position that kids are under the influence of substance abuses and things of that nature at that young age?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why do you think so, in your expertise opinion?
In my professional opinion, I honestly, it goes back to the home environment. And the mentality of do as I say, not as I do, does not apply and fly with youth.
Correct.
And, if the parents are using, or if they have access to drugs or alcohol in the home, it's only a matter of time before they say, okay, mom and dad is doing it. They're telling me not to do it. Of course, I'm going to try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
So the just say no, say no doesn't apply anymore. Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
So I'm piggyback to the question before. I'm looking at this clubhouse daily schedule, and it says that you definitely say from 3 to 7, and these different peer groups and things of that nature. And I noticed on your website that you have a lot of engaging different activities that you have the kids involved in.
Yes.
Does that bring about self-esteem? Because that's one of the reasons probably why substance abuse is prevalent in those young kids' lives, because of self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Okay, so talk a little bit about that.
Self-esteem is really huge. So Rediscovering Me, when we thought about the program, when we thought about offering services for youth in Anne Arundel County, I said, what better name than Rediscovering?
Absolutely.
Because I remember as a teenager, where I thought I knew everything. I'm like, okay, my parents, they don't know everything. I'm like, okay, I'm going to find out on my own. And life is the best teacher, is what I tell youth all the time. So what we provide at the Rediscovering Me Clubhouse are opportunities for the youth to rediscover themselves, rediscover their talents, their abilities, and to try to get to know who they are.
Absolutely.
And learn more about different things. So we've done things like gone to the recording studio, where some of them, they've never been in a studio environment, and they're able to learn how to produce. They write their own songs or poems, or absolutely. Okay. Some of it is on our website.
So actually, to be honest, when you're looking at it, 3 to 7 is not really a long time. It's a 4-hour period, and you're going to these different locations, and you have your Tuesdays and Thursdays where you're working with different peer groups, and you have maybe Monday you're doing this. And is it possible that, are you open on the weekends?
We are open on the weekends. We're open every other Saturday.
Okay.
We found like a lot of the youth that we've had, now they've gotten jobs. So right now we have a younger population moving in.
Okay.
So the jobs are good, but then that hurts the attendance that we're required to fulfill each year. So, we're great. We follow up with them. They keep in contact. They come by when they're off, just to say, hey, Miss Mel or any of the staff, I'm doing good. This is what I have going on.
What are some of the jobs that these individuals transition into?
So a lot of it are the fast food industry.
That's fine.
We have some that are working with a church group where they work at the Raven stadiums and the Oreo stadiums.
Okay. So you have your outsourcing jobs, or people in the community are helping Rediscovering Me help your youth find jobs. How do you guys go about getting these kids or transition them into jobs? Do you have someone that come in there and work on a resume and teach them how to resume? Are those one of the things they do during their daily schedule? So that all those things is encompassed.
Absolutely. So I mentioned earlier our vocational services. So the youth, once they come in, we make sure that all of them have a resume.
Okay.
Those that are of working age, we make sure that their resume is up to date, and we kind of beef it up a little bit, where we offer them service learning opportunities, where they can, if they don't have the work experience because they're not of age, then they're doing some service in the community. Like we've done community cleanups, we've done going to the nursing home, singing carols with the people, or playing games, or one time they went and they painted the elderly's nails. And, all these different things really help the youth.
Absolutely.
As well as feeding the homeless.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So if I was a concerned parent and I realized that my child was going through some issues, how would I go about enlisting my child into your program? What would I have to do?
Okay. So enlisting is very easy.
Okay.
All they have to do is just show up at the clubhouse and fill out our registration pack. We do the screening process from there.
Okay.
So as a parent, we get calls from parents, from school social workers, or anybody that has a concern for a child, and they say, well, what do we need to do?
Right.
You can either go online and fill out part of our registration, or you can come in to our office and fill out the paper application.
So it's just simple as that?
It's as simple as that.
That sounds easy, guys, and friends out there in the world. Are there any requirements that are involved in your program once they are members of your organization from a youth standpoint? Are they required to do certain things?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what we require, we have a cell phone policy.
Okay.
And once they come in the clubhouse from 3 to 6, no cell phones.
How does that work?
It works.
Okay.
I was very surprised that some of our most defiant youth, they were able to give it up. And they're like, Ms. Mel, I'm going to die if I don't have my cell phone.
Absolutely.
And, after I gave it back, I said, okay, are you dead? Like,
Absolutely.
I've never seen a dead person talk to me. I don't want to see one talk to me.
Absolutely not.
So,
and the key word in that is defiant, because
Absolutely.
we here at high school, we have a cell phone policy, and we've talked about that on the show before, as far as most youth believe that if they don't have that technology piece in their hand, that they're going to just lose it.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure from that vantage point, and if a kid allows that cell phone to be not used for 3 hours, that's a youth that's dedicated to empowering themselves.
Absolutely.
That's what I would look at it as, though.
Absolutely. And that's how we measure success too. Once they're willing and able to step out of their comfort zone and do different things, we look at their grades as well. How their grades are improving. And
do you give them do they have to bring a daily sheet to school? I mean, to the clubhouse, weekly or monthly? How do you, or you wait for a report card?
We wait for
to be
report
given
cards. Wait for the report cards or progress reports. But what we do is we talk with the parents. Our parents are our biggest allies, and those that are, really involved, we really try to, we hone in on those.
Absolutely.
On
So
those
you do
parents.
have a great parent involvement, which is essential, because they are the ones that actually have to understand the plight that the youth are going through. One last question, or maybe two more, because this is a good conversation to know about, because we've had, throughout the summer, we've lost several of our school students through substance abuse, heroin overdoses and things of that nature, or alcohol abuse. So I want to spend as much time as I possibly can, so when this information gets aired, they'll be able to look at this and learn from it and know that there are programs such as yourselves out there that actually can help the community that we are surrounded in. When there are challenges that occur, how do you guys meet those situations?
So when challenges occur, whether it is, consistent use, or if we observe the youth under the influence of something, then we make referrals out, because we are not a treatment-based site. But what we do, we're just there to provide that support and create a safe, drug-free or sober zone, as we call it, for the youth. And when, they come in and they appear to be under the influence consistently, then we know that there's a problem. And then they may need extra help or outpatient drug treatment, or, some other services beyond us where they can get that extra support and then come back when they're ready and willing.
Have you had those occurrences before?
We have had those occurrences, yes.
And so you've definitely met those challenges. Do the kids once do they graduate from your program?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
do you have a ceremonial transition to leaving your program, just like you have an introduction into the program?
Absolutely. So we're big on celebrating birthdays, accomplishments, and different things. So I really believe in honoring the youth and everything. Like this past Thanksgiving, on the 22nd, we had our Thanksgiving dinner, and we did the mannequin challenge of videos on Facebook. It was really really cool. Yep. It was awesome, but it was a way where, and the parents, they were excited, and it was a way for them to engage with their youth. And as the parents were coming in, they're like, okay, you know what? More people need to know about this program.
Very
so
true.
Thank you again, for the opportunity to share, because we really want to get a lot of youth in this community services that they need.
And how do you guys go about initiating that? Do you go into the school system and let them know that, hey, Rediscovering Me is an opportunity? Do you speak with counselors or PPWs?
Yep.
I mean, how does that go about?
Absolutely. So we've done all of that.
Okay.
Yep, and we continue to do that each year as, staff changes and different changes are implemented throughout the school. So it's hard to really adjust. It's like each year we have to do another juggling act of reintroducing, and really it's pretty much word of mouth. Like, we want the youth to be excited about the clubhouse, excited about the things that they're learning, enough to say, well, you know what, I have a friend that's, may not be doing anything after school, may have too much leisure time, and that's where, too much idle time, and that's where they get in trouble.
Absolutely.
And we want those youth that, really are not involved in sports or, any of those academic or extracurricular activities, because then that's time that they have to themselves where they can get in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
So we want to try to be proactive about things and try to get them help before their addiction or whatever it is, their activities that they're involved in gets
my grandmother
too bad.
My grandmother always says that an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Absolutely.
So do you have situations where a youth transitions into, he leaves or she leaves at the age of 18? Do they come back and work on hands with younger youth? Because I believe sometimes kids are reluctant to hear from an experienced person like a counselor on your in comparison to a youth who went through this program could say, hey, look, I went through Rediscovering Me.
Yep.
This is where I am now. This is what you should do. Do you have those type of engaging type of experiences?
Yes, we have one of our ambassadors right now. I call them ambassadors.
Okay.
You know, he's graduated. He graduated with honor roll, and you know he right now he is working, and he's also enrolled in Anne Arundel Community College.
Okay.
So he comes back and he talks to the youth about the opportunities that he's had at the clubhouse. For instance, one opportunity he had was to interview the mayor of Baltimore.
Outstanding.
Through a video program that we had them involved in, Root Ranch Productions. So it was just amazing. Like all of the opportunities that we provide for the youth are again for them to help rediscover who they are and to build up their confidence, build up their self-esteem, and help them to go out there and be able to say, okay, you know what? I value my future. I value myself enough that I'm not going to make poor decisions. I'm not going to go out there and get involved in X, Y, and Z, because my future is really bright.
Absolutely. Well, it's been great having you here. Rediscovering Me is a great, powerful word, and it's a great, powerful resource that you have in this community.
Yes.
Rediscovering Me. I think that we as humans should always be under that development of rediscovering ourselves. So that name itself is powerful. Once again, we'd like to thank you for coming on to Pass It On. You are definitely a friend of the show. The information that you provided to us today is something that we can pass it on to the kids that is within our high school sector. I would definitely let our PPW and our school counselors know about your program, and because we do have some concerns and issues pertaining to our surrounding community, and it's something that they should know that they can send these individual kids to your particular organization. So once again, it's been a pleasure for having you coming on here.
Pleasure to be here.
And as you see, once again, young ladies and young gentlemen and adults of the world, Rediscovering Me in Brooklyn, Maryland, right here on Ritchie Highway, is an organization that's dealing with youth who are currently issuing or under the influence of some type of substance abuse. But this program gives you a more identifiable way to rediscover themselves as they go through this different plight. So once again, we'd like to thank you for joining in to Pass It On. We look forward to spreading some more Pass It On information to you on next week. Until then, take care.